Well, my name is Ewan Lamont. I'm the CEO of Legendary Games, and later on in this interview I'm going to be talking to my business partner, Dr. Gavin Rumry, one of the makers of Tomb Raider.
Right, so Year Zero, it's a post-apocalyptic strategy game, turn-based, taking place after what we're calling the collapse, which is where society has been fighting for years and years, and suddenly the battle reaches a climax. Everyone wipes each other out, and all that's left is a few bunkers and people coming out of those bunkers going, now what? And they discover that the world is pretty much a wreck. It's Year Zero, they've got to decide what they're going to do. And they head out of the bunkers and immediately find themselves in conflict with other bunkers that are out there,
Right.
with other survivors. So Year Zero, it's a turn-based strategy game, which means what happens is you've got all your units on the map. When it's your turn, you move them around, you fire on enemies, you can go searching in buildings to see if you can find any gear that you can take home with you. You can hitch onto wrecks that you find on the map, tow them off the map, repair them, get them ready for battle, so on and so forth. And being turn-based, you take a turn, then it's the other person's turn. That might be the AI or it might be another player. And if you're not online, then the AI will take your turn for you. So each player can come on, keep playing the game, and immediately, you know, their friend might suddenly get told, hang on, someone's on your map, attacking it. They come online themselves, they start fighting, and suddenly you're actually playing live. So it could be played either way, either it's happening live or it's happening against AI. We have a mixture of both, so you get a game most of the time against real people. So even when you come onto a brand new map that you've never been onto before, often the units you'll find there and the layout will be another human player's pieces that they've left there defending. They're getting an alert telling you they've arrived. You'll start battling with them, and it's up to them whether they come on, take over from the AI and try and battle you for real, take more strategic decisions, maybe send on reinforcements, or decide to retreat and run away, whatever.
So effectively it will be like a really cool version of XCOM or Advance Wars, but instead of you up against an AI opponent, a lot of the time you'll be up against an actual live human being.
Exactly, yes. So, and you can have multiple battles on the go at once. As you take over the map, you'll take on more and more areas, and that will increase the number of areas you'll have to defend, so you could find yourself battling on several fronts at once against a whole bunch of different players. And the game's completely persistent. Each map is procedurally generated, so when you first arrive you don't know what you're going to find. Each one represents a unique challenge.
I guess your claim to fame is you were involved in the original Tomb Raider franchise. How does this kind of project differ from Tomb Raider?
The main thing that's different about this kind of game is that you can play on any device. You know, sit here on a netbook, on a big PC, it can be on a phone, it can be on your iPad. Any of those devices you can play from, so you don't need a console sat in front of your telly. You can be on the bus, you can be on the train, you can be at home, you can be sat in front of the telly. You can go into the world of Year Zero, take your moves whenever you feel like. The game can be played in short bursts, it can play for hours at a time. It's entirely up to you. So that kind of freedom is something that's very different to the kind of console games that I've made in the past, where you sit down and you have to have a session with them and you're going to play it for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. The other thing is this is all against real players, and it's all procedurally generated maps and things like that, so it's not a game with a kind of fixed amount of content that you play for 10, 20 hours and that's it, it's finished. It's going to keep on going, and it's going to evolve. We don't know quite how it's going to evolve with all the different players coming on and how they're going to interact, and we're very keen to put in a lot of features to make it possible that people could, you know, join up, make factions, work together, and so on and so forth. And this is a kind of evolving world. It's meant to be Year Zero, after the apocalypse. What's going to happen next?
Okay, brilliant. How important do you think the world background is to the enjoyment of the game?
I think the world we've come up with is a very interesting world. This idea that it's, you know, day one after the collapse of society. You know, there's been a 10-year war that's been going on. All these countries fighting, got bigger and bigger. They've been militarized for years on end, so they've got very good at making weapons and that kind of thing, and then all of a sudden old world orders have collapsed, all the leaders, etc., they may be in their own bunkers, but now it's down to each bunker that's left is its kind of own community. It's got all the equipment it needs to manufacture new military hardware to help the people who are in it survive. They were all built, ready, waiting for this day when, in case there was a massive, final cataclysm in the war. And that's happened. And now all these commanders of the bases are finding themselves, when they radio to the HQ, it doesn't exist anymore. All the comsats are down, there's nothing out there. So they're coming out, a few stragglers, trying to work out what next. And all they're trying to do is survive. Unfortunately, to survive, you're going to have to fight.
Yeah, so it's quite a nihilistic game.
I think it might be a nihilistic game, yes, because you are going to be, sifting the wreckage of humanity to try and keep going and fighting off everyone else who's effectively gone feral. But, we've got ideas that we might allow you to do a little bit of rebuilding, but we're not sure yet. Okay.
But, I mean, it is going to be a social game as well, but it sounds fundamentally a very antisocial game.
There's going to be social elements, but that's more about, protecting each other's backs rather than, sitting around drinking coffee.
What type of people are going to like this game?
I think the kind of people who like this game are, gamers more than anything, although it might well appeal to people who have been playing some of the lighter social games that are out there, who want something that's a bit more of a challenge, a bit more interesting. But this will appeal to people who do enjoy playing games on their DS or on their console. At least that's what we hope, and are actually finding that the kind of games they're finding on Facebook just aren't that interesting, haven't got much depth. This hopefully will have the depth and the strategy, etc., to keep people interested and enjoy it.
Brilliant. Okay.
Why do we need the money out of Kickstarter?
Well, we've been developing Year Zero for what seems like quite a long time at the moment. We've been sidetracked with a few other projects, but we are so close to getting this game to being out there. We're very, very close to be able to finish off the development and get something out there that people could enjoy playing. And that's why we're only asking for about £25,000, which for a computer game is a very, very small amount of money. But please, please, please do back us, because we do need that money to get the game finished, and it's going to be great.